morning, everyone. Welcome to our live webinar of eIMMIGRATION. My name is Vanessa, and on behalf of Cerenade, I want to welcome you to this webinar. This is being recorded so that you can watch the video later in our YouTube channel. We also have a chat and questions where you can send me your questions throughout the session. So if you have questions, please reach out. And also there's a handout that you should be able to download. So if you click on handouts, you can download it. Okay. Give me 1 second. Someone's messaging me. Okay, let's begin. So today we're having a basic training for new users. But again, even if you're not new, this is your session, so you can ask me any questions as needed. Let's get started. Today I'm going to show you what the basic 3 steps are, which are creating a contact, linking members, creating cases so that the data can transfer to the forms, of course. I'm going to show you what the alternate view is, how to use the questionnaires, and of course, how the forms auto-populate. I'm going to go over the form tools and how you can send these forms to your clients so they can review and make changes, how to create notes or logs, we call them, how to gather and store the evidence or documents, the copy of the passport, I-94, visa, all of that. And letter templates, these are for you to auto-populate data into a document such as a cover letter or an email. So this is the letter merge. And all of you have access to these features. Let me see, I haven't, yeah. So what I've mentioned so far is included in all packages. Document assembly as well. If you want to create a package and put it together, that's also included. The reminders, process steps, sticklers, so everything applies to everyone here. It doesn't matter what package or what type of organization you are handling. All right, so let's log in into the caseworker portal and begin our training. Remember, this is being recorded. If you have questions, you can also message me. And let me know if you can hear me fine. All right, so in fact, let me close this. I'm going to launch a poll. Let me know if you are a new user or this is a refresher course for you. Okay, I'm waiting for everyone to vote. Awesome. Great. Thank you so much. So all of you are new users. Great. So let's continue. This is exactly why we're doing this session so that you guys can maximize the investment and feel comfortable using the system. But again, ask me questions as we go throughout the session, okay? All right, so as I said, the first step is to create. On the left-hand side, you want to see create client contact. That's if you want to create, it could be a prospect too. You guys can use the system as a CRM, track all your leads and follow up. So that could be, again, a contact for a prospect, not necessarily an actual client. Of course, if they retain you, they turn into active clients. So this is where you start by creating a contact. And notice that the system can auto-generate the numbers if you want. And let me show you an existing contact just so that you can get a better idea. Okay, let me close this. So this is the contact profile for one of my clients, and I have entered her information. I can enter information here and make sure that you save the changes. If you don't, and you move to a different section, you're going to lose that information. So beware, be careful. Of course, if there's nothing to save, you can't actually click on the button. Well, I'm going to go over the alternate view, but since I'm here, this is one way for you to capture data where you type the information. Like I said, you can type the data, or if you click on the right hand side on the top of the menu, it says alternate view. The alternate view has the templates or yeah, like the questionnaire. So if you guys select a template, let's say you want to use a system for personal injury or divorce cases, it's not just for immigration. You can customize this drop-down menu. Now, these are the type of questionnaires We provide you with standard questionnaires, like, I don't know, biographic information could be one of them, where I can print it if needed, but I'll show you how you can translate the questions and then print. But if you're the one who's going to be doing the data entry, for example, I've got a questionnaire that's an initial intake form, and I have the person on the phone or she's in front of me and she's probably not tech savvy. So I'm the one who's typing the information, and I can customize my own questionnaires with my logo. I added questions like, is this the first time that you contact us? Or how did you hear about us? Or so you can capture this information and, like I said, use it as a CRM. How many clients did we get this month because of Google, or because of it was a referral? So anyway, so if you enter the information here, let's say it turns out that it was July 9th, 1985, and she tells me that information. I am the one typing. I click save. Wait until you see the green bar. See what says, please wait. It's saving the data. So wait until you see this green bar that says the form was saved successfully in the server. Now I can safely close the form, and anything that I entered or typed stays here. So you notice the date of birth. So again, it's up to you, whatever you want to use, either the traditional view or the alternate view. Step number 2, when you go to members, this is where you link the family members, and not necessarily family members, but like even for employment-based cases, the employer with the signatories or employees, HR, or if it's a family-based, spouse, children, a sponsor, even if it's like an adverse party, you want to link them to keep track. So this is important. You want to go to members, click link member, and search or create the contact. I actually like to create the contact and don't enter a client number. So that's how I can tell if this is just a contact or a family member versus an actual client. Whoever has a number, it's a client. So anyway, so you can link them, select a relationship, let's say daughter, and then I click link. And that's how you link them. And if I need to capture information for the children, then I click on their corresponding link to open their profile. I can see the name of the son. If he shares the same address, I don't have to retype it. I just go to address, and then I go here, copy from the mothers, copy from the mother, copy from the father. So I can just copy the address and I don't have to retype this information. So again, I'll do it, copy from, select, and save. There's another feature very similar under history of previous addresses. So it's the same thing. You just copy from, and then you select which addresses you want to copy from. I think this is great. I'm pretty sure it's going to save you so much time. So we're excited that you guys are using the system. All right, let me know if you have any questions. So step number 3, after you create the contact, enter data, and link members. Step 3 is when you go to cases and you create a case. Now remember, you can use the system. Let me create it from here. You can use the system for any type of matter. We have clients that use it for taxes, real estate, like I said, divorce cases. So you can create any matter. You can just create the case, and this drop-down menu can be customized. Okay. Remember, you have an administrator portal where you can customize these processes, also your departments. So if you have different services or different locations, different branches, you can separate within your database. Think of it like different compartments, I guess. Um, all of these, well, except for this one, but you should customize the drop-down menu so that you can just click and go instead of having to scroll down through this list and find what you need. Okay. Type of program, usually nonprofit organizations use it to track grants or programs, but you can still use it to maybe differentiate the stage of the case. This is in process, completed, interrupted, pending with NBC. I don't know. So you can use this drop-down menu however you want. You don't even have to call it program type. Sorry, you can customize that program type header, and you can change that in the administrator portal. The category 2, is this a family, employment-based, social service, pro bono, or I'm doing it for taxes, or so you can customize this. Okay, I'm going to click next. My information as the attorney or the preparer will transfer to the forms as long as this box is checked. Again, please, if you have questions, let me know. Here's where you select the case parties, the actual role. So we talked about linking them as members. That's different. I have linked them as members because they will be present on the form, but they're not necessarily part of the case. So I don't have to select a role, just the ones that are actively participating, such as the petitioner or the alien or the derivative. If it's family law, like plaintiff, defendant, guardian, minor, like you can choose different roles. So I'll just pick alien for the husband. And the reason why I choose alien over beneficiary is because it's just faster to complete forms. You'll see it right now. So I'm going to click next. There is a program type that I need to select, but I forgot. So this conditional rule, it's basically that, like a reminder. If I forget, it tells me, hey, the program type is not equal to grant 2. My forms checklist can also be customized. So if I don't need the G28 and I want to delete that, so I don't have to do that every single time, or if I want to show the I-130 first, or again, this is customizable. I'll create the case and I'll stop right here because I want to know if you guys have any questions about the basic 3 steps that I just talked about. All right, so I'm waiting for the participants to vote. All right, I'll just close it and share with you guys. So thank you so much. I'll proceed. If you have questions, let me know. All right, so we've got the forms ready. I'm going to click on her name. You see where it says main party? This is a hyperlink. I always suggest that you click on the name so that you open another tab. That way you can have the database with all the data here, and at the same time you have the case window with all the forms. So if I open a form and I need to make changes, I can just switch to the database and make them there directly in the profile. Here's the I-130. Also remember, we update the forms when there's a new version of the form. So you'll have the little clock one that tells you there's a new version, you want to use the old or the new. See here on the left, it says petitioner info goes here, and it did. Here's the petitioner. But if we go to page 5, it says alien, and that's why I picked alien over beneficiary. So his data will transfer right away. If you ever find a form that didn't transfer data, use the red button, select. Okay. All right, let me know if you have any questions at this point. I'm going to go over how to auto-populate forms, and then I'll show you how to send them questionnaires so the data can populate. Okay, for example, hey, I realized that maybe we don't have the address info, or I don't have her social security number. I could send her a questionnaire. In fact, let me do it before I talk about forms. Hold on. Technically, the first thing in the agenda before forms. All right, for those who just joined, this is the agenda for today. Give me one moment. So right now we just covered the basic 3 steps and the alternate view. I'm going to show you questionnaires and how the forms auto-populate. And then I'll go over these features as well. Okay, all right, let's continue. So how do I send questionnaire to someone? Well, first of all, make sure that you go to the contact profile and you have the email address, or if you are subscribed to text messaging and you want to send it via SMS, then make sure that you have the cell phone listed here. So on the left, you want to click Create Questionnaire. And it's going to ask you what option. Do you want to send it to this person? Do you want to send it to a different person? Do you want to print or view? Or I always recommend using this feature, which is called anonymous questionnaire, which is basically a hyperlink that you put on your website or social media, or you can send a bulk email and prospects can initiate the process instead of you creating their accounts. So take advantage of that. All right, so for this example, I'm sending the questionnaire to an existing client and she has an account already. I'm not showing the process, but if this was a new client with no account, then I would have to just create it. In fact, let me see if this one has an account too. Interesting. I'm getting clients that have accounts. Okay, you know what? Let's just close this and delete the account. So you guys can see how does it look like when they don't have an account. Okay, try again, create questionnaire, send it to this person. This is what I was trying to show you. Create client user account. Anytime that you guys send a questionnaire to someone new, you need to create a user account in order to send questionnaires. All right, it doesn't matter if you are still sending them as intake forms with passwordless links. So I will change her username. It's okay to use the same email address, but two people cannot use the same username. And then the password, instead of generating automatically, I'll go ahead and create a 1234, something easy. I will send her the username and password just so that in case I need her to log in, she knows how to. But I'm not going to use a default message template. I will use my own letter template. And I'll show you later how to create these so that you can easily just click and it populates the name, or this one's in Spanish. I'm basically just providing the username, password, and the URL. I might not need it because I might need to, I might just send the intake form with a passwordless link. But again, it's good to have that access for any reason. All right, so let's go ahead and click send intake form with passwordless link. If I already know what the preferred language is, I can change that. If I know what the process is, then I would pick the process, and that way I can pick the forms or the intake forms that I need. Let's say TPS, I need this. All right, so you just select the process and then it gives you the questionnaires that are related. So you pick the questionnaire that you need or all of them, right? And then click save. This is where you decide, how do I notify my client about these questionnaires? Do I send her a text message? Do I send her an email? Or should I just copy the link and paste it on WhatsApp? Did you know that you can open WhatsApp web on your browser? And, well, I don't know you guys, but I use WhatsApp. So the majority of people might like to just get the WhatsApp link and proceed to complete the questionnaire instead of logging in into the client portal. So maybe you guys want to just copy the link and paste it somewhere else. Go ahead and just send a text message. If you want to do this, you need to have access to the optional module. I can also set up a reminder. So how about if the system sends a reminder once a day, once every 3 days, or once a week, via email, via text message, or both, and I'll just stop sending the reminders a few weeks. And that's it. Just close the window. If you're like me and you forget and you need to know, remember, like, did I send the questionnaires? Which questionnaires did I send? Just go to the document section and then click on questionnaires and forms. This is where you can see, and by the way, I'm in the contact profile. This is where you can see which questionnaires and forms she has access to. If your client ever calls you and they want you to troubleshoot for them, this is another way of doing it. First of all, take a look and see, okay, which questionnaire did I send? When did I send that? And have they submitted this or not? So it looks like, for example, I sent the TPS questionnaire back in August. She did respond, but I never accepted that questionnaire. So it's in the limbo because she doesn't have access to this TPS questionnaire anymore. She did submit, but it's in my inbox. Okay. For the other ones, like the biographic info that I sent also in August, or the 765, or this one that I just sent, she has possession of them. Like you can see where it says created on, updated on. So as long as these two dates are here, it's because your client has access to them. Let's see, what does the client, what's the perspective like once they log in, for example. If they log in for the first time, I think we said it was 1, 2, 3, 4. If this is the first time that they log in, they need to change their password. That's why I don't care for 1, 2, 3, 4, because they're gonna change it anyways. Okay. Oops. Here we go. Okay, here we go. So when the client logs in and they click here on the left mailbox, or again, they could open that passwordless link, as long as whatever they do, as long as they comply and send the data we need, right? So if they open the questionnaire, which is right here, they will see the data you have captured. Now remember, I send it in a different language, but they can also change the language, okay? So let's say maybe the date of birth was incorrect. It was September 7 and 1987. So we review, right? The client reviews, and I'm just gonna make a couple of changes. And she sends that questionnaire back to me. Also, tell your clients they can keep a copy for themselves before they submit. Because if they don't, they won't have access unless you resend it. So print and then submit. And once they submit, we let them know it was submitted successfully. And if they do have more questionnaires pending, they can just move on to the next one. Okay. Any questions about this, please let me know. I will show you now what happens on your end when a client sends a questionnaire. What do you do in order for this to populate the profile? Okay. Please let me know if you have any questions at this point. Okay, I'm going to show you, I'm in the caseworker portal. I clicked on here on the top right corner, questionnaires and forms. Here's where you see your inbox. We tell you the name of the client, we tell you the name of the questionnaire and the dates. Okay, so you need to click here, select open. We actually highlight the changes in red, which is great because then you visually identify the changes. Here's another one. And you can just click and see what was there before. I had a wrong date of birth. And at this point, I make a decision. Do I accept? Do I reject? Do I delete? Be careful because it has happened when your clients make a mess and they replace data. And if you're not reading and say, okay, well, I'm supposed to review Valeria's, and then I see here Jose's or Mario, like just be careful because your client could have just deleted the data and overwrite, so you don't want to accept it. In this case, I will accept, and because I do have more questionnaires from the same client, I'll go next. Here's a DS-160 that she sent, I don't even know when, but oh, July. All right, so let's accept that it's for Francisco. I sent a form for the husband, a DS. All right, so I'm not gonna approve all of them, but I wanted you to see. By the way, have you ever used this contact form? Did you know that you have this form? Let me show you. When you guys go to your case and add a form, search for it. It's called contact. It's a form that we developed. And if you open it, it has yellow fields. These yellow fields are bidirectional, which means they connect both ways, from form to profile, profile to form. So if I say, you know what, let me see Valeria's information and I click on her name, then it's going to allow me to make changes. So if I need to modify her social, let's say, I'll just change the social to 557, I don't know, 88777. So if I save this contact form, because this is a yellow field, once I save that form, look what happens. Let me get to her form. I mean, her contact profile. Look at the social security number. It's been updated. So anytime that you see yellow fields on forms, it's because they are bidirectional. Anyways, I wasn't planning on showing you that form, but since it appeared, might as well. Okay, so remember, we accepted that questionnaire. So now once I accept that, the information shows correctly. Did I accept that one? Yes. Okay. Oh, it's because I accepted the other questionnaire as well. Here's a NEO agreement. I mean, you can see the dates when you sent the questionnaire or when they submit, and who sent it, who's the paralegal or attorney who initiated the questionnaire. All right, any questions, let me know. Let's see, how many of you, how do you prefer to capture your client's info, using questionnaires, or do you use the alternate view? All right, thank you for voting. So the majority of you said by sending questionnaires to clients. That's great. Yeah, take advantage of that. And also remember, you can use your own questionnaires, create your own intake forms. All right, so let's continue. I'm gonna show you how to, give me one second, let me see if I'm sharing my screen. Yes, I'm gonna show you how the forms auto-populate. So we said at this point, we have the data, right? And then we created the case and we open the form. All right, so the information populates because we have it in the system. That's it. If it's not populating, is probably because you have the wrong role. In this case, I have alien, so I did populate because it matches. Now, let's say that I want to overwrite something and I say Valeria's, I don't know, what's a good one? Address information is incorrect, or I just want to enter my own PO box so the office receives the information, and this is our PO box number. So what's going to happen if I overwrite a form, law firm? I won't delete her data because this is not yellow. Remember, only the yellow fields are bidirectional. So anytime that you overwrite, it turns blue. That's how you can tell you're overwriting a field. See? But if I want to restore or cancel, click on the yellow bar, click here. It's like an undo. Okay? I'm going to save my changes. And if I do want to change something across multiple forms, let's say this is incorrect, then we suggest that you go into the database and change it here. So let's say this is the correct information. Not really. Oh gosh. Okay. So I'm going to save my changes, go back to the form and refresh. How do you refresh a form? Have you noticed that we have these select party buttons, the red ones? So click, replace, and click on the name of the person that you're dealing with. That's how you refresh or update the form. So you don't have to retype the same information over and over again. Look, the date of birth changed, but it didn't modify my overwritten fields. So if I want to keep the PO box number here, but I still want to see what the actual mailing address is, I can still see it. Okay? All right, let's continue. This square is for you to create a note. Maybe I want to ask, hey, is this date of birth correct? Every time that you use the sticky notes, use your initials. You can customize the size, the color, the font, the position. These Post-its do not print if you don't want to. Just don't select the option. You could also type anywhere. This keyboard, if you move your mouse anywhere, just type and drag and drop. Okay? If you have a text that doesn't fit, so I can type and it doesn't fit, you can manually change the size of the font if you click on the A, and you can change the size of the font. But if you still exceed the limit, the system creates the addendum for you automatically. In fact, let's go back to the end, like the last pages. You'll notice we have this edit additional entries. So click, select what exactly you want to transfer. You can uncheck whatever you don't want to transfer, and then click save, and it will save the information with the corresponding page part item numbers. Okay, let me know if you have any questions. One more thing, when you're done working with the form, if you want to replace blank spaces with, I always joke and say the infamous NA. So just click replace, and it goes throughout the form and replaces the blank spaces with NA. Or some people like to use this feature to change every single thing to all caps, apply. So I don't have to change that. Everything will be changed to all caps. Okay, any questions at this point? Please let me know. I'm gonna save and close the form. We want to continue with the rest of the training. Let's see. Okay, so now I'm going to show you how to send forms to your clients so they can review or they can just see them, read only. But before I do that, let me see if there's anyone who has a question. All right, any questions at this point, please? All right, we're voting. I just want to make sure that I can continue with the presentation. And the thing is, sometimes they say, oh, she's going too fast. Yes, because I have a lot to cover, but I always pause and say, do you have questions? So if you do have questions, this is the time. This is the moment. Go ahead and text the question via the chat. Submit your question, I meant. All right. I got 75% of the vote, so I'm just going to continue. But if you do have questions, please take advantage of that. All right. So how do I send the form to the client? And if you are going to send the form to your client, I suggest that you use the sticky notes. You should put like a large sticky note on the front of the page when they first open the form. Please client, these are the notes or observations, questions that I have for you. So I always like to use that sticky note. I guess because I went through the process of getting my own green card and citizenship. If the attorney wanted me to review form, that's what I would like for the attorney to do so that it's clear. And so the way you're going to share the form, you're going to select all the forms you want to share, and then you click here. It's either read-only PDFs, or do you want them to make changes and edit the form? Okay. And so if you do that, they have to log in into the client portal for security reasons. And you decide, who am I sharing these forms with? And then, of course, let them know, hey, I've sent you forms that I need you to review. Again, remember, you can use your own templates. I like the letter templates feature because it populates information that I want, like my logo, information about the link, etc. All right, let me know if you have questions at this point. Actually, yes, there's one. If a client with family, same forms needed for everyone. So some of the family members' info was entered in the main application form. How to populate to the new forms for the rest of the family members? Yes, great question. Remember we talked about having your client's profile and then there's a section for members? Either you or your client have to provide information about these members, like children or spouse. So make sure that these profiles or members are linked and everyone's data is in the corresponding profile. So that's step number one. Step number two, when you create the case and you work with the forms, let's say I've done the I-485 for actually, never mind, because I just send it to your client, so we can use that one. Let's use the I-131. All right, so I finished the I-131 for Francisco. Okay, this is the husband. See, alien info goes here, it says. Okay, great. Well, Francisco's I-131 is here. I see that he's a permanent resident, blah, blah, blah. Like, I'm just adding information for, I don't know, I don't even know. Honestly, I don't know what the form I-131 should look like. So I'm just trying to show you if I type information and I want to use the same information for the rest of the family members, this is what you're going to do. You're going to label the form where it says edit. There's a description column. See, description. So I'm going to say, right, for the I-131, edit, and this is Francisco's I-131. So save it. Now that I know the description to identify it, copy it, clone it, duplicate it. So you click select, copy. So now we have another I-131 for, well, I don't need it for Francisco. Let's say I need it for the daughter or, so you click here, select party, replace Francisco with the son, Andrew, or the mother, like anyone who's linked as a member will show up here, regardless if they are an active role or not. So if I click on Andrew, then guess what? This I-131 now becomes Andrew's form with his information. So if I save this form, no thanks, close this, then I can label this and say this is no longer Francisco's, but this is Andrew's form. Does that make sense? Please let me know. And thank you for being here. Happy you're here. All right, so what was I gonna, oh, yeah. So if we go to the client profile, and we sent her the forms. Remember, we sent the 765, I-130. Okay, so she's gonna open the form. She's gonna see my notes on the first page, so there's nothing to miss. Like honestly, if your clients don't see this, I mean, they can even reply back. They'll see the work that you've done. They'll see questions and confirm, yes, that's my date of birth, or no, maybe she wants to update it here. It was 1985, or I'm just adding my responses as the client. So anyways, when they review the form and make corrections, they'll submit it back to you. Okay. And it's the same process. You get an email from us, hey client, hey attorney, you've got a new form or questionnaire. You have to log in into your caseworker portal. You have to click on your mailbox. Here you see the name of the client. In this case is a form. So you're gonna open it and keep in mind, again, remember, these are not yellow fields, so they don't transfer back. We do tell you, okay, this has been modified, right? It was 1984, you've got 1985. So my suggestion is that you copy paste the values into the corresponding um, field. Where is the general info? Here. So if I say, you know what, if she entered 1985, let me just update the database. Was that the only change? Yes. Okay, great. So now I have a completed, updated I-130 that I don't have to worry about And I updated the, wait, did I accept it? The form? I don't think I did. Okay, accept. Great. Here we go. All right, there's another question. Oh, no, it says, got it. Thank you. You're welcome. All right, so where's the case that we were just working on? Forms. Great. See, the forms that I haven't received yet, my client's still reviewing them, have a little envelope, which means that if I want to open them, it should be just a read-only access, or I have to delete her access in order for me to modify it. And the form that I just received and accepted, excuse me, it's already here with that date of birth that she changed. Okay. Next question. Let me see. No. Next item, sorry, on the list, it's logs. How do I enter a log or a note? Well, you have the option to enter notes in both profiles, the client profile or the case profile. If I click on logs and say add comment, please, please, please make sure you customize these categories. Don't use the basic ones like general. You want to customize it so that eventually it's easier for you to find notes. Let's say this is RFE related. This is an important update. So it's easier for you to get a report with just the notes that you need. So maybe there's a important update and the case was approved and I want to see this note and even share with the client. So save and close. I want to pin this note so that it stays here on the top, regardless of how many other notes we have. Okay, so that's how you add a log. If you go to the contact profile and you click on logs, there's a section at the bottom that says show case comments. So I can see both the comments at the case level and the comments at the contact level. And you could also sort or search. I'm looking for any notes that say payment or payment related, or so again, anything that has the word payment, it'll show up here. Or I don't want to see the ones that are in the system, just the ones that we entered for my client, sorry, my staff notes. And I can select and print all these notes. Maybe the client wants to see a report. All right, next we want to show you how to gather and store documents. So every time you create a case, you could customize your documents checklist. If you haven't done it, it's in the administrator portal. Because it's easier for you to select and share with your clients so they can upload their own evidence. And if you plan on doing that, I highly, highly recommend that you go into your administrator portal. If you go to your admin, there's a section for application settings, and make sure that this is checked. I love this feature because it auto converts any item or attachment uploaded into PDF. So it's a lot easier. Anyway, so you want to share the checklist with your clients and they would upload and each file will appear here where it belongs. There is also a way for you to create, like I said, cover letters so that they can auto-populate. And the way they do is by using these tags. So as long as you insert a tag, they can auto-populate. Let me preview so you can see how the tag populated with the value there. How do I get the tags into the letter templates? You have a tool section right here on the left where it says tag helper. Now remember, I'm recording the training so you can always watch this video, but if you want to search, hey, I know that she said something about tag helper, where do I find that? You have a user's guide, so click on help, click on user's guide. Give me 1 second, sorry about that. Click on search and type tag helper, tag helper. Okay, so we have videos that show you how this works. Or if you prefer like a step-by-step instructions, you have that too. Okay. We have another video also for letter templates. So if you guys want to, okay, give me one quick second. I apologize. I thought I put my do not disturb. Okay. So anyways, here we go. So anyways, if you guys want to learn, hey, I'd rather just watch a video, show me how to create my own letter templates, or I'd rather, again, create a letter template, but show me step by step, you have the resources. Or you can call us or send us a message through technical support. I'll go over the resources and support options right now. Okay, so next, how do I put together the package? So I've got the forms that I need. I've got the evidence and the letter or the cover letters. Well, let's click on Document Assembly and select New so that I can create the package and choose which forms I want to put into the package by clicking here. The evidence and the cover letters, I just have to select and include, and then I can drag and drop. Okay, I want the passport here, cover letter goes here, visa, I don't know. And then the system helps you create the table of contents so that the page numbers update accordingly. And then just click Save Changes and either download or email with the footer caption and the footer page numbering. Okay. All right. So that's the document assembly. Let me share my PowerPoint. We're almost done. We covered that already, and I'm going to show you how to create reminders, process steps, and how to use the tickler, and we're done. So let's go back. How do I create a reminder? You can create a reminder again in both levels, contact versus case profile. So if I add a reminder, make sure you also customize the type of reminders. Is this a reminder for a visa expiration or a DACA renewal reminder? Do I have a court date? When do I have the court date? It's due on the 20th, but I want to get an email and a text message reminder maybe 2 days before the court hearing and send that at 7 a.m. Send it to the attorney, but also send it to the client and the recipients, maybe the client and the husband or the employer, or so you can CC them. So I have all these recipients for, again, not just the attorney, but also the client, and they can get a text message and an email with the letter template too. So instead of me typing, dear client, don't forget that you have your court hearings soon. Well, I don't want to type that. I'll just pick my letter template from here. Okay. Any questions about how to create a reminder, please let me know. Another way of reminding yourself or your staff or keeping everyone on the same page is by using the process steps. The way I see these process steps, well, in many ways, I love this feature because, again, I just think, how do I save time? How do I work more efficiently? And this is one way, because you have all the steps or milestones. What are the tasks or your to-do list? Well, as long as you know what to do and when you need to do it, that's great. And if you forget, get an email, right? It will show you, sorry, we will send you an email in case you were supposed to do something and you forget. So this is great. You've got the um, task, the start date, the time frame, and the target date. So it has an auto email, and I can delegate a lot easily by choosing who's going to be the person responsible to do this, and now they know when they need to do it. Okay. All right, so these tasks or reminders or process steps, all of these, also the expiration dates. So if you go to the contact profile under the document section and you see passports, I-94s, visas, or user-defined documents, like I've got an RFE, how do I track my RFE? How do I track EADs or biometric appointment, or I don't know. So you guys can select the expiration date and say, okay, we've got an RFE that it's due on the 20th. but we want to see all these expiration dates or reminders and steps in one place. Yes, you have that. It's called Tickler. This is your general dashboard. So this Tickler, which by the way can be customized, you can choose your own layout, choose your own time frames. Shows you, I see it as a helicopter view. It shows you everything in one place. Show me reminders, expiration dates, process steps, anything, even accounts receivable aging report. But I want to show the data for all my caseworkers, not just me. So then the tickler becomes again your general dashboard where you can see what's going on in the next 30, 60, 90 days, who was supposed to do what. Okay, so that's your tickler. Great, so now let me show you what resources and options you have for support. You can call us Monday through Friday, 8 to 5 Pacific Standard Time, except on holidays. Or you can email us 24/7. That's our email address. You may also click, like I said, on your home screen for technical support messages or send your feedback to developers, which we encourage you to do. As I said, we have a user's guide, which it has a lot of resources, videos, and articles. We do these trainings for free live every Friday, except on holidays. We have a podcast. We have a Facebook page. It's actually a forum where you can interact with other attorneys or users. We have a YouTube channel. If you haven't subscribed yet, please do me a favor and go to the Cerenade Academy YouTube channel and subscribe today. Okay, and there's a question. How did you get to home case process steps to modify process steps? I went to the case. So when you go into the actual case profile on the right hand side, click on process steps. So home cases process steps, it's on the right hand side of the case. And the way that I modified is right here, modify process steps. So that's if you want to modify them all at once. Like I'm planning ahead and like, okay, we want to do this on these days and my staff has 10 days to do this, or they have, I don't know. So it's just you're building your timeline and delegating by choosing who's going to be responsible. Yeah, I'm glad to see you here. All right, so let's continue. Did you know? There's a lot. I work here. I've been here so many years, but sometimes there's like things that I don't even know. So there's always evolving. Technology keeps changing. That's the reason why we encourage you to please subscribe to the channel so that when there's a new feature, which we do have, you get the video. We also send you newsletters. But did you know that we have all these and more features available, like AI related feature like Summarizer or the Extractor, e-filing? These are the trainings that we have scheduled for the month of September and the month for October. So please click to register and participate. And also let us know if you have any questions. Oh, you're welcome. Let us know if you have any questions before you disconnect. And if you have to go, thank you so much on behalf of Cerenade. We want to thank you for your time and we hope that you learned something new. Have a great weekend. You're welcome. Thank you for joining. Have a great weekend. I'll call you next week. Bye-bye. Now, please let me know if you have any other questions before we disconnect. All right, so since we're not getting any questions at this point, we will end the webinar. But again, on behalf of Cerenade, thank you for joining us today. Bye-bye.